All right, so the underlying energy here is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is talking about a stable beginning, or some sort of commitment to to making a relationship, or making obviously making a relationship stable, secure, and really making this relationship stand the test of time. It's a long-term connection. Now, underneath here, though, is the Eight of Cups. So I feel like in the past there was something that was walked away from, something that wasn't very satisfying, and you went to find your own happiness, or you went and you went and left the situation from a serious, well, not necessarily serious. It just wasn't satisfying. Most importantly, it just wasn't satisfying. Okay, and I feel like you guys are starting something new, something that is definitely going to, definitely exciting, something that's really gearing up to be more stable, but it's just slow, one, and it's a lot of hard work. Now, the current situation in your relationship right now is involving the Knight of Swords. It's a bit of combative energy here. Either somebody's being very combative with you and very, very aggressive with you guys, or that this is an all-around, conversation thing. Like, everybody's being aggressive, everybody's being impulsive, everybody's being, very difficult to communicate with, because someone is fighting for what they believe in. This could be that just there's a adamancy of making something happen, or going at something with full force because you believe in it, or there's some sort of belief behind it. Now, again, like I said, this could be that somebody is very aggressive with how they communicate with you, or this is an all-around thing. Like, there's aggressive communication back and forth. The desire for this relationship is the Seven of Cups, and I feel like this is honestly picking a path and going with it, because honestly, with the Seven of Cups rather, this is some uncertainty that comes up, and I don't really like seeing that right next to the moon, because it can mean confusion, can mean uncertainty, obviously, right? And not really sure of what this relationship has to offer, or really not sure of where either one of these options can lead. And I feel like that is honestly what's stressing you guys out. Why these options are not really decided on yet, or really what cup is being picked out of all of this. Well, it's not being picked. Nothing's being picked right now because of this Nine of Swords. There's a lot of stress going on, lack of sleep, and I do feel like there's a heavy amount of stress going on. Everything is just heightened when I see the moon. So if there's confusion in the future or what the goal is, honestly, I don't even know if you guys know what your future is, or what you guys want your desired outcome to be, or what the desired outcome to become. What is the desired outcome overall in the relationship? It's unknown, because the moon and the Seven of Cups is there. I think there just wants to be a little bit more passion. Well, not passion, but romance, fantasy. But ultimately, there's not like a certain avenue or certain future ahead, potentially, because there's a lot of stress here. Right? And the stress has a lot to do with doing everything and anything that they can, this person or whoever, doing anything and everything possible to make something work, make something happen. There's an empty victory regarding this. Maybe in the past there was some things that were done that may have left this person feeling very empty inside, because the Five of Swords, you always end up losing something with this energy, and this is the empty victory card, because there could be something that was done that may have not have been done otherwise, but because there was just this desperation or this really hardcore need to get something, or to have something, or to win, it just, you do end up losing something with that energy. There could also be brutal conversations, like really blunt conversations, really some hardcore back and forth energy in the past, which is now kind of weighing on you and stressing you out, potentially. Now, again, with this desired outcome, though, it doesn't necessarily just mean this uncertainty. I feel like you want more options, or maybe there's more options that are desired from this relationship, or this love life, potentially. So that way, there is somewhere to go. There's uncertainty with each direction, but you guys are the Sagittarians, the travelers, the people, the teachers and the learners. Y'all, when it comes to experience, when it comes to taking an adventure, it doesn't have to have an actual outcome, I feel like. It doesn't need to. It's just about giving you options other than the situation in which you're in. But I feel like with this Eight of Pentacles coming up in your best path to follow, it does indicate here that maybe focusing on what needs to be done for you and really focusing on what needs to be focused on in the relationship, it can actually benefit you a lot. All right. The best path to follow is talking about focusing and concentration, working diligently at something, working very hard to make this relationship, not make the relationship work, but to get past this Ace of Pentacles energy. This is just the beginning. All right. And I feel like with this, it's like, yeah, it can be a little bit stressful because this is a lot of readjustment. The Five of Swords, great change, right? You lose something, right? You lose some sort of something during this energy. And I do feel like, yeah, it's a stress head and everything like that. But this is just the beginning. This is just starting. And if in order to kind of get through this, it is going to have to get through a period of very vulnerability, of heightened emotions, feeling super depressed and stressed out, feeling like you've lost something, feeling like you've gained something but end up losing something in the process, or having combative energies with someone else, because there is an ultimate goal and there's an ultimate, like, end game to everything. Now, I do feel like the Eight of Pentacles is talking about just focusing on what needs to be done, focusing on the task at hand rather than looking towards the future, because the future can be intimidating, and it, honestly, considering that there's an uncertainty with where the future is going, focusing on the moment can really help. Focusing on what is happening, what you can do now, what can you enjoy in the moment, because this is what this is all about, right? The Eight of Pentacles is focusing on the moment, not the future. That's, if this was the Seven of Pentacles, I would be probably saying the same thing. But the biggest thing is that put your head down and focus on what you can focus on right now, rather than the future itself, because the future can be very stressful, especially if it's showing like this and it's uncertain. In your emotions, guys, you feel your connection with your soulmate, which is someone from the past. It could be an ex, or it could be someone that you've known from a past life, but this most importantly shows a soulmate connection here. Now you feel this connection. This is love as well, I feel. But also, ultimately, this is nostalgia. This is almost very familiar. But it's not a bad memory. The thing is, with the Six of Cups, rather, this is not a bad memory. This is happy memories. This is memories of the past. This is really, really lighthearted and wonderful energies to return to sometimes. If there was the Three of Swords, I'd be like, you guys are feeling some old issues coming back up, some old pains, potentially with this relationship. But I'm seeing goodness, seeing the connection. You guys have this love for this individual, and it's unshaking, right? It's unshaking. It's the most realist thing that you can honestly feel. Like, I feel touch, but it's honestly, it's emotion, right? It's nothing real about an emotion. Well, the relationship, an emotion is not tangible, so it's something that you guys have in your heart. This connection with this individual, and I feel like with this Six of Cups, for some of you guys, you want to rekindle this fire, rekindle this passion within this relationship. For some of you guys want to get back together. You guys want to start this passion and start this relationship over again with a spark. All right, with that excitement. You guys want to rekindle that flame within this connection that you have with this individual, or someone from the past. And the thing here is, with the moon being in the outcome, is yes, it can be very confusing. It can be very hard to see, and most importantly, very impossible to see almost. But the beautiful thing is that if you focus in the moment and trust your intuition, you will find yourself with diamonds and gold. Okay, but you have to trust yourself. The whole thing is, with the Nine of Swords, right, is that this individual is stressing out about a situation that hasn't even happened yet, right? I feel like that's what's happening, because it's like he's in bed, he's very stressed out, he's worried about something, he's got his hands over his face, but he's not seeing that what's happening around him isn't even happening. It's not happening at all. And I feel like if this individual had more confidence in himself to be able to execute certain things that come his way, to just deal with it when it happens, things will be less stressful for him, and he'll have a good night's rest. So I feel like right now, with focusing on the self, focusing on what you can do at the moment, focusing on the present, not necessarily the past, but the present, focusing on the present, this moon energy will be a little bit easier to overcome. But ultimately, right, the moon does indicate walking through fears, walking through things that make you feel uncomfortable, being in a place of serious vulnerability, and it does stress you out, and it can stress you out. But it's about, it's honestly, it takes strength to get through this energy. It takes some serious strength to get through this, and you guys have that. You have the determination and the commitment necessary. You have the Knight of Swords. You're coming in firing hot with your truth, fighting for your truth. You know what your truth is, and as long as you have your truth in mind, you have to, trust yourself in this moment. Okay, trusting yourself is a very good thing to remember, especially when the moon is in your outcome like that. And the Seven of Cups. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your whispers of love. Ooh, can I grip the cards? I want to bend them. Whispers of love. What do you have for Sagittarius this week? What do you have for Sagittarius this week? What do you have for Sagittarius this week? Wow. And it says, demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. Okay, and that's talking about being in the moment, right? Focusing on the moment. And if your emotions are in the past, so if you have any memories in regards to the connection that you have, then you let that be the way to demonstrate your love, right? Remembering what somebody likes or whatever like that, but I don't think that's the focus. I feel like most importantly, saying focus on the present. If you focus on the present, you're showing appreciation and gratitude to yourself and the relationship, and it's honestly going to give you less stress. It's going to be less on your head, I promise. Okay, it's focusing in the moment. It's hard to do, I know, but it's gonna get a lot off your weight. It's gonna get all that weight off of you. Okay, it was hard for me in the beginning. Trust me, it was hard for me to do, but trust me, it does help so much, and it's a very grounding state, because when you're in a place where it's uncertain and you're not sure where it's gonna lead, being in the moment really does help. All right, let's go ahead and see what the wisdom of the Oracle card has to say for your love lives this week, as well as advice or additional advice you guys can get for the wisdom of the Oracle card this week. Go the distance, you know what I'm saying? Strength was definitely in this card, okay, in this reading. It just didn't come up, but here it is. Go the distance. And it's talking about being bravery. Being brave? Being strong, and keep moving. Don't stop. Keep moving. Things are going to get a little intense. Just keep focusing on the moment. Focus on what you can do. Focus on what you have. Focus on feeling grounded in the moment. Okay? It's a difficult journey, but you can make it. Especially if this is something that you've wanted. If this is something that you still want, and something that you desire. If this is something that you want to rekindle this relationship with this partner, you want to get back together with them, you want to feel good in the connection, okay, this is definitely something that you can do, and you have everything that you need in the moment. So be in the moment.